welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at Ethereum. Let's get into the price action and see what's going on. So primarily what I'm looking for is still that potential to come back down here in the C wave, looking to potentially target out this zone of the 1656 area. Now we do have a potential that we could look to complete here and we could look to push away from the zone. So we're going to discuss that as well. Primarily the way I'm looking at this is that I have a triangle here, a bigger triangle, and what this would look like is basically something like this, where we're looking for the potential of having this as a bigger triangle. So I'm still following this until it proves otherwise. Now, this move we currently have up here is just a three-way move currently. So what I want to see here is whether we actually develop another move to the upside. If we do develop another leg to the upside here, this could then become a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that would be a five-way structure. Now, what we need to be cautious of is from back here, there could be something like a flat, in which case we would look to come down and break these lows. If, however, we get a retracement from this and settle above this area here, the lows here of this 1806, possibly back into some of these key levels, what we could then look for is continuation to the upside, where this would then become an A, B, and a C, and that would tie into being our E wave of our triangle. So this is what I'm basically looking out for. So I've highlighted some interesting zones here as 0.618. So we have this 0.618 in the green here, which is basically based off of the D wave, and then the B wave one is in the white here. So those zones would respectively be the B wave one of this 1900, and then we have this of the D wave here, this 1891 to this 1887. So I'm going to be cautious if we do get a move up into this zone. Technically speaking, we've already come into this one, but what I'd want to see here is whether we actually get another fifth wave up here, break down, and get another push to the upside, something like this, looking to target out these areas. So this is primarily what I'm still looking out for here, is that possibility to break to the downside. Now, what we need to be cautious of, however, is we did discuss this in the previous video. Potentially we could look to this triangle completing earlier over here, in which case this could mean we're already starting the C wave to the downside. Now, if this is the case, what we would be looking for is basically to see this move start to extend out down here. And what we were talking about within that was actually looking for this five-wave breakdown here. And we were actually looking at these internals here. So we're looking for an additional fourth and a fifth wave, but we've come up too high now. So this actually invalidates this count here. So what we need to think about now is this just a three-wave move down, or is the subdivision different? Now, it is possible that within this we could still have this as a 1, 2, all of this is a 3, a 4, and a 5 in this manner, and we just actually complete here rather than into this low. If this is the case, what we could then have here is a flat correction to the upside. So really what I want to see is, we need to be cautious for as long as we fail to actually break back above this 1913 area. This could still play out as a impulsive move to the downside, where we have a flat in a wave 2 position. So this would actually be looking at something more like this, and we'd be looking for that potential to form this wave 2 in this manner. Now, if this is a case, we could look for some potential target areas. So we've already come past that 1.618 area. The next area I'd be keeping an eye on here, if it is a flat correction, is this 2.618 area. And that would actually tie in with coming back into this previous resistance area here, which would be at this 1886. Now, if we do push up higher here, this 0.618 area is also going to be quite an interesting zone, as it would be a retest of these lows on this support and resistance line here. So this is something we just have to keep a watch of. If we get a move up here in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we break down and we take this low, it could actually indicate we're in a bigger move to the downside. Now, this would change these target zones slightly, so I just need to adjust these. But what this would then mean is that we could be looking for something like this, where we actually see a bigger third wave play out towards the zone of this 1689, and then look for a continuation to the downside. If it does play out to this 1.618, what we could then see here is basically a move down towards the zone of the 1672 to the 1644. So this is what we need to be cautious of. It is possible that we could still, be looking to break down directly here. Need to get either play out as a triangle here for more confirmation, or we need to get back above this high for invalidation of the fact that we were already starting the C wave. So this could actually look to push us down towards this lower range here, which would be looking to target out this area of the 1672 to this 1644 area. Now, the key thing here is if this is the case and we have a triangle in here, this cannot be an impulse. So this would mean this is a corrective move. And then we'd be looking to actually reverse to the upside from this point. So this is something that, we're just going to have to take it one step at a time and see exactly how these internals play out here. But if we get a single 5-wave move to the upside, which then breaks down and takes this low, we'll have to treat this as a flat correction in the middle here. And they would have to be careful of this bigger push down for wave 3, or what we could end up seeing here is that this is A, B, and C to the downside, and this would kind of tie into our flat idea again. I was treating this as a 5-wave structure within that count. The problem is, there isn't great subdivision here for the 4th wave, so we just need to be cautious that this could actually be a 3-wave move down here. This could be a 3-wave move to the upside, or even a triangle in this manner where this is A, B, C, D, E. And then actually what we have here now is another 3-wave move looking for the 1764. If we have a move like that, that would still tie into the idea of that bigger flat correction. So this is something I haven't dismissed yet, even though the structure isn't great at the moment. But if we see a move down towards this zone of this 1766 to the 1710 area, so basically looking for another A, a B, and a C, which would actually look to take us potentially down towards that zone. So let's just throw this fib on here. So that would actually bring us down into this 1-to-1 here of this as an A, a B, and a C, which would be at the 1762, which would also tie in with a 0.236 retracement to the downside of this A wave. So this could be a little bit of a confluence zone here where we could see a reaction. Now, what we would want to see if this is a flat is we'd want to see obviously one more break to the downside, potentially looking to take this low. Now, it is possible that we could even argue that we've completed here, and this is ABC, and it's just actually been short. In which case, we could be looking for a direct move up in a 5-wave structure. But the key difference is here that that target range would potentially rather be towards this 1-to-1, which would be bringing us back into these highs. So this 1942. So if we do move back up into this zone, we need to just be a little bit careful. If it does extend out, we could still face rejection within this red box area, though this has changed because we would have look to complete here. But I'm not. It would make more sense for me to sweep these lows if it's a flat, just because it's more common to get a regular flat than a regular. So we just have to see how this actually plays out. But this is still on the cards. If we come down here towards a 1766 and we fail to form an impulse, so we just get a 3-wave move down here, I would still be looking out for that potential to see a 5-wave move to the upside, looking to sweep these areas. Now, if that was the case, potential zone we could look to target out would actually be between this 1985 to this 1930. So this is what we're going to have to keep an eye on here. If we do look to actually push directly up here, it's possible that this could just be an A, a B, and a C here, where we're actually looking to come back into this zone. But really, for as long as we actually stay below this 4th wave rejection area here, which would be this this wave 2 rejection area here, which would be this 261 to this 1960, I would still be cautious of any kind of a move up at the moment, just because it's still looking very corrective. Now, we were talking about that possibility of that bullish count, which is still technically possible. Looking for this move from further back here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an expanding diagonal, looking for this as a W, X, and a Y into this low, and then actually looking for the potential to start to move up here in either a C wave towards this 2347 to this 2720 area. If this is a wave 3, we would be looking for this higher range. So this is still viable technically, but because we haven't actually lost this low point here. So what we'd want to see actually play out if we're looking to break to the upside here would be looking for something like this, where we're looking basically for this to become a bigger 1-2, and we're looking for a 3rd wave up towards this 2068. Now, the problem I have with this is how big this wave 2 would be in comparison to this wave 1. So it is less likely already, but technically speaking, we've held below, so it is still a possibility here that we could see this actually play out as a bigger 5-wave structure here. An alternative here to look out for is if this is actually just A, B, and C, would be this 1963 area. So this would be bringing us back into some of these key levels here, testing these highs again. and then possibly from there looking for continuation down if it's just corrective, or if it does start to push to the upside. Like I said, this 2068 is going to be a zone I would be looking for as a potential wave three, given the current structure here. Now, on the internals here, what we would be looking for is, like I said, even if we are looking at a flat, or we are looking for, that triangle possibility where we're looking for that potential that we have A, B, and C, or alternatively, this is a flat correction as A, B, C here. What I would still be anticipating is an additional fifth wave to the upside. So that target zone could potentially be here towards this 1980, this 1899 to this 1888 region. So this would be a typical fifth wave area, but not, we also need to be cautious that this could actually just be A, this could be B, and we see another C wave to the downside here. So that ABC, if this is not a completed fourth correction, could look to actually potentially drop us down towards this 1844. Invalidation of this fifth wave would actually come by crossing this wave one high, which would be here at this 1837 area. So because of this, technically speaking, we haven't invalidated it. We've got a complex wave two here. We've got a potential simple wave four here. The problem I have is we can potentially count this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if that's the case, this could also just be an A wave, a B wave, and then we get a C wave down. So that's why it's going to be important to see whether we actually get a move down here. This wouldn't invalidate this count. It would just make it, it starts to stretch it once we lose this 50% zone as a wave four. But technically speaking, we could, still find support above this zone here of this 1837 and still look for that continuation up. Now, however, if we are looking for a deeper corrective move here, where potentially maybe my count is not correct and we've had something, it would be very strange if this is the case, but we have something like this as a fourth and a fifth. Now, the reason I don't like counting it like this is that potentially, this wave four is really small in comparison to this wave two, but it would allow for it in the fact that, we'd have had a simpler wave four here, and then, simpler wave four here and a more complex wave two, in which case this could actually be A, B, and C. And then we could actually look for this lower target range here of this 1845 to this 1822, holding above this zone of this 1806, which would be this low here, basically gives us that potential for continuation up. But once we start to lose this, we'd have to either treat this as, like I said, because we don't have, ideally what I want to see is a fourth wave play out here, and then have a fifth wave to the upside. Until we actually form that, all we have is A, B, and C. Like I said, potentially we can count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's not my best or my favorite interpretation of this move here. So what I'd be looking for is to see whether we actually get, a move back down into these zones. So some key areas here that might be interesting is obviously the 50% area, which would be this 1845, and which would be coming back into this zone here. Alternatively, this 0.618 would bring us back into the highs of this move, and then a 0.786 would actually retest these lows. So if it's going to look to sweep these lows, potentially what we could see is a move down to the 786 here, and then a continuation to the upside. So this is just something I'm being mindful of here. Now, this would be the same even if we do look to progress up here. The problem is, within the structure, I can't see good impulsive moves. What I'd want to see is, potentially this be a 1, 2, another 1, 2 here, possibly another 1, 2, then we get a 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, something like this to play out. But really what we'd have to see here is a bigger break to the upside here, and actually looking to push back above this 1880 area, and then we'd be looking for this as a possible fifth wave location. So what we'd want to see is basically if we do that, what we then have is this move here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we'd have another fourth and a fifth, which, as you can see, would look to potentially bring us up into the zone. Obviously, we always have to be cautious that there isn't further extension going on here. It is also possible that this could be something like this, ABC as a 1, this is a 2, A, B, and we get a C for a 3, 4, and a 5, something like a diagonal developing here. But yeah, primarily what I want to see is whether we get this fourth wave. If we fail to get this fourth wave, I'll be looking for the support zone here of this 1845 to this 1822. If we fail to hold that, we need to start to be cautious that we aren't looking for, that deeper correction. But really, as long as we hold this flat area as well, this is something that I'm just going to be keeping an eye on. If we just get a three-wave move down towards 1766 to 1710, what we could then see is a reversal to the upside in a C wave where we actually just have a bigger flat correction here, where this is A, this is B, and then we get a C wave to the upside. So we just need to be mindful of this move to the downside. Like I said previously, we're only going to get confirmation of a bigger five-wave breakdown here if we start to move down below these key areas here of this 1689. Now, that would be based off of coming up higher here. If we were taking this current structure, it would actually be at that 1678. So, really would have to just be cautious of this one-to-one area here, which would be 1764 in this case, if this is a flat correction here rather, and we look to complete this move here as a one flat for a two or B, and then we get a C wave down. That 1764 is going to be that key area at a one-to-one, and then if we're looking for this actually starting that bigger C wave, this 1688 is going to be our confirmation zone here. Really, with this, if we do start to break back above this 1913 area, basically this wave 2 position starts to be challenged, and it becomes less likely that we're going to see this play out as an impulse. But really, invalidation would only be by coming back above this 1939 area. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. As well as that, you'll find affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link, this helps support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.